The United Nations recently passed its strongest sanctions yet against North Korea following its sixth nuclear test. But critics have expressed doubts as to whether the sanctions would stop Pyongyang from developing nuclear weapons and if the measures would be effectively enforced. The U.S. government and a UN experts panel have published reports on how North Korea evades sanctions to earn the hard currency it needs. Here are 8 of the methods used: 1. Swapping goods. North Korea directly exchanges its coal and other minerals for the goods it needs, such as weapons components and even luxury items. This avoids the risk of money transfers being traced. A resolution passed by the UN Security Council last November set a cap on North Korea's coal exports, which generate a significant share of the country's revenue. Another resolution passed last month banned the coal trade with North Korea, but bulk purchases of the fuel continue. Chinese businessman Xi Jinping allegedly used his company Dandong Jiqing Metallic Materials to buy steel and anthracite coal from North Korea in exchange for nuclear and missile components, according to the U.S. Treasury Department. 2. Smuggling. Smugglers from other countries such as China turn off their ships' transponders when entering North Korean waters, then take North Korean goods to another country, including Russia. They then claim the goods were made in Russia. Chinese ships loaded with North Korean coal either stay in a Russian port for some time and then return to China, or another vessel picks up the goods and ships them. Assistant Treasury Secretary for Terrorist Financing Marshall Billingsley told a hearing of the U.S. House Foreign Affairs Committee last week. An employee walks between front-end loaders, which are used to move coal imported from North Korea at Dandong Port in the Chinese border city of Dandong, Liaoning Province, December 7, 2010. Once a main export center for agricultural goods, Dandong Port, near the China-North Korea border, now serves as an import center for coal and iron ore from North Korea, local media reported. Reuters/Stringer 3. Falsifying shipping registration documents. North Korea has registered an unusually large number of ships, including many foreign-owned vessels, as part of its domestic fleet. It also listed 18 of the 21 vessels in its Ocean Maritime Management Company as domestic ships, even though some enter international waters. It allows the vessels to avoid international agency inspections. The Ocean Maritime Management Shipping Company has also renamed and registered some of its vessels. False documentation was provided to 8 ships, according to a UN report. 4. Overseas workers and projects help fund weapons program. Almost 100,000 North Koreans work around the world, generating about $500 million for Kim Jong-un's regime, according to the U.S. government. The Mansudae Overseas Projects group of construction companies was named by the UN as one of the North Korean firms that raised revenue for the state. The group carries out building projects overseas using North Korean workers. It also transfers projects and its employees to other contractors, such as the Chinese firm Qingdao Construction's unit in Namibia in Africa, according to the U.S. Treasury Department. A UN resolution passed in November last year called on nations to be vigilant about North Korea's use of overseas labor. Benjamin Mac 5. Modifying equipment free of embargo for military use. North Korea displayed missiles at a huge parade held in Pyongyang in April. Video and photographs of the trucks used to transport a Pugsong-1 missile had the Sinotruk logo on the fuel tank. At an earlier military parade in October 2 years ago in Pyongyang, Sinotruk Ho 6x6 series trucks were also seen. Sinotruk is the listed arm of China's largest state-owned truck manufacturer. It confirmed to a UN investigation that it had exported civilian trucks with 3 axles to North Korea from 2010 to 2014, but the equipment was not subject to embargo. The company also said the sales contract requested explicitly the buyer ensure the civilian use of the trucks and comply with concerned provisions of Chinese laws and Security Council resolutions. 6. Front companies. North Korean companies set up bank accounts for front companies overseas to place their earnings. It reduces the risk of wire transfers to banks in Pyongyang being traced. Glocom, a North Korean company manufacturing military communication devices, used a number of front companies in Singapore, Malaysia and Hong Kong to settle payments with clients and suppliers, according to a UN report. A single invoice was often settled through a series of small transactions, the report said. In another case, Chinese businesswoman Ma Zhou-hong was accused of using her company Dandong Hongsheng Industrial Development to help Korea Kwangsun Banking Corporation settle its overseas customer accounts, according to the U.S. Justice D.